Let's go. The hot stove is heating up. We haven't seen this in years. But Major League Baseball teams, they're making moves early this year. And we got big news about one today. Mike Moustakas has signed a 4-year, $64 million contract with the team in the division, the Cincinnati Reds. Go figure. Now, I just want to make it known that I did know the Cincinnati Reds were going to have a big offseason this year. Play the clip. I think the Reds are going to be possibly the biggest buyers of this offseason. You're going to see them make some big moves. Yeah, that was said back in my way too early predictions in 2020. Check out that video if you haven't seen it. But I'm here to talk about that move. Biggest move of the day. We also have Jurickson Profar being traded to the San Diego Padres, Leone being traded to the Cleveland Indians, some other minor moves around baseball that we're going to talk about in today's video. You guys know the drill. As always, if you do enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like on it. That's the best way to show your support on the channel. Subscribe if you're new and you enjoy the content. If you love baseball, if you love news, this is the place to be. Click that sub button, join the team. Remember to get in the comment section down below. Give me your thoughts and opinions on the Moustakas signing, the Profar trade, anything going on in baseball. I'd love to hear what you have to say down below. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at GiraffeNeckMarc. Links are in the description. I'm always talking baseball over there. So let's get started with the Mike Moustakas news. I wish I knew where my Moustakas Royals jersey was because I'd wear it for today's video. In my free agent rankings that I released actually yesterday on the channel, I had Moustakas as the 11th best free agent this offseason. So it's a pretty significant guy coming off the board right now, and it's coming as a big surprise that the Cincinnati Reds are the team that goes out and grabs him. I thought a team would use him more in the third base role rather than what the Reds are going to do and use him at second base. But regardless of where they play him, I mean, he's going to be in that starting lineup. I really like this move. So first off, let's talk about Mike Moustakas, what he's done the last couple seasons, whether or not that $16 million a year pay is going to be worth it. 2019 was arguably the best season of his career, finished with a career high OPS, 254 batting average, 329 on base, 516 slugging, 35 homers, 30 doubles, a triple, and 87 RBIs. And defensively, he was also a plus fielder with a positive defensive WAR this year, that with playing third base and second base. And even in about 360 innings, he only made one error at second base last year, so he's not that bad. According to Spot Rack, who basically gives an average annual value on a player, Mike Moustakas is worth about $20 million, close to 21 actually at 20.7, and the Reds got him for $16 million a year for 4 years. Now at the end of the contract, Mike Moustakas is going to be about 35, 36 years old. I'd assume he's not going to be performing at the level that he's going to right now at those ages, but the Reds are getting Moustakas for a really fair price right now in what's going to be his prime. He has shown that he can hit for power. He is a nice left-handed bat. He can play second base pretty well. Let's say Eugenio Suarez goes down. He can play third base. The Reds needed another left-handed bat in that lineup, another guy with some power, and they got that. I'm a big Mike Moustakas fan. Like I said, I've wanted the Mets to go after him for what feels like the last 3 or 4 seasons. They've decided to go elsewhere, and he has had some really nice years with Milwaukee. I mean, even in 2018, he still had a good season. For the Cincinnati Reds, like I said in my predictions video, this was going to be a busy offseason for them. And this is, I think, just where they're getting started. You add Moustakas now at second base. You still need a guy at short. Maybe you go with Freddie Galvis. Maybe you go after Didi Gregorius. They non-tendered Jose Peraza, so it looks like he's on his way out. They can have a really nice lineup. And even if they were to just keep Freddie Galvis, let's say, at shortstop, their projected lineup is very solid. Nick Senzel leading off playing center field. Joey Votto in the 2-hole at first base. Suarez hitting 3, third base. Moustakas 4, second base. Aquino 5, right field. They can still go out and add another outfielder. They can still go out and add some pitching, add some bullpen help. This Reds team has a chance to be really solid, and I personally just really like the Mike Moustakas signing. If you guys saw my tweets about it, I was very excited for Moustakas. As I've said, I'm a fan of him, so I'm glad that he's finally getting paid because this is a guy who the last couple seasons has taken 1-year deals trying to prove himself, and it is finally coming through for him. 4 years, $64 million. Big move by the Cincinnati Reds. By no means do I think they're done yet, but overall, I really like this pickup by Cincinnati. It's a sign of good things to come if you're a Reds fan. You should be excited. It looks like they're going to go out and spend and try to compete this year. The next move to talk about is going to be the Jurickson Profar trade, which saw him going from the Oakland A's to the San Diego Padres in exchange for Austin Allen, a catching prospect and a player to be named later. Start off by talking about Jurickson Profar as a player. As many of you might remember, his fame in baseball kind of started early. He was a star in the Little League World Series for Curacao, was a really talented young player, eventually found his way onto a team, got as high as the #1 prospect in all of baseball at one point, I think like back in 2013. The dude was a very hyped up prospect. He has a lot of talent, all the skill in the world, but he's never really been able at the major league level to show it. Injuries, inconsistent playing time, sometimes just lapse of like his brain. It seems like it's not working. He'll go through spurts where he looks like, wow, Jurickson Profar, he's finally coming through. And then you'll be like, oh, wow, does this guy know how to play baseball? He can be locked in at the plate. He can be lost at the plate. Something that he has lacked is just complete and utter consistency. And and he hasn't really shown many signs of improvement yet either. Now, 2018 with the Texas Rangers, he actually had a very nice season, not an all-star level by any means, but it was better to what we expected to see from Jurickson Profar, because prior to that we had seen pretty much nothing. But in 2018, he hit 20 homers, 35 doubles, and 6 triples to give him 77 RBIs, 254 batting average, 335 on base, 458 slugging, and a 793 OPS. So those numbers were pretty solid. But then last year in Oakland, you thought, okay, he's going to build off that strong season in Texas. He's going to get extremely consistent playing time. He was supposed to be their second baseman. What's he going to look like? Not great. 20 homers, 24 doubles, 2 triples, and 67 RBIs, 218 batting average, which was way low, 301 on base, not good, 410 slugging's not terrible, but it's not good, and a 711 OPS. He was a below average player offensively last year, so for the A's, who are always constantly trying to move guys, get new pieces in, they got Jorge Mateo in the minor leagues waiting to come up and get some serious playing time. That kid's a player. It just made no sense to keep Jurickson Profar around anymore, and they could get something back for him like Austin Allen and this player to be named later. Now, for the San Diego Padres, I know I just said a lot of bad things probably about Jurickson Profar in your head, but I think if you're the Padres, I'm happier to take a risk on this guy than necessarily Luis Urias. I think at Luis Urias's best as your second baseman, he's close to an all-star, maybe an all-star once or twice, where with Jurickson Profar, if he lives up to the hype, if he lives up to the kind of player that we thought he would once be, you're going to be getting an extremely solid player out of Jurickson Profar, and even the production that he's been giving right now is going to be better probably than what Luis Urias is going to give. So I don't think it's actually a bad trade at all. I like the addition of Jurickson Profar for the San Diego Padres. Do I think he's going to be the defining piece in them trying to make a playoff push this year? Absolutely not. They have big holes elsewhere, but I think he's a nice piece to build that middle infield around. You got him, you got Tatis Jr., you got Hosmer, you got Machado. Your middle infield is sort of kind of set right now, and let's say it doesn't work out for Jurickson Profar, he's a free agent in 2021. See you next time. Or even if it does work out and the Padres aren't playing good baseball, you trade him, you get some more pieces back, you look forward to 2021. I like the move by the San Diego Padres, and I also like the move by the A's. Austin Allen is listed as a catcher first baseman the last time he was ranked as a prospect. Back in 2018, he was a mid-tier prospect for the Padres, 25th in their system. Defensively, doesn't offer a whole lot, but the dude can definitely swing the bat. Last year in AAA, he hit 21 homers, 27 doubles to give him 67 RBIs, 330 batting average, 379 on base, 663 slugging, and an OPS at 1042. Yes, AAA, the balls are juiced. They got a lot of high elevation, a lot of dry areas that they play, but those are still some really nice hitting numbers. And although he's played in 34 games in Major League Baseball, he's only received 70 at-bats, so you can't really judge him off that just yet. For a guy like Jurickson Profar that's not a part of the A's future, why not take a risk on Austin Allen, a player to be named later? I think it's a pretty good move. I think it's worth a shot. Why not, right? We also saw the Boston Red Sox and the Cleveland Indians make a trade. This one's not as big profile. There's not a whole lot to talk about here because the Cleveland Indians got Sandy Leone from the Red Sox in exchange for Adenis Bautista. Similar to Jurickson Profar, Sandy Leone was probably going to be non-tendered by the Red Sox this season. They had Christian Vasquez, who had a breakout season. Looks like he's going to be their catcher for the next few years. They didn't really need Sandy Leone, who, let's be honest, is not a great catcher. Sorry, Red Sox fans. I know Sandy Leone's like a meme that he's the best, but we know he's not really that good. So this is simply just the Red Sox saying, hey, we're not going to keep this guy. Let's see if we can get anything back. Indians are like, here's our backup catcher to Roberto Perez, who's similar to Christian Vasquez, a defensive catcher who just broke out offensively last year. Leone's value is in how he handles his pitchers. He's good defensively, catches a good game, but at the plate, you're getting almost nothing. Career batting average of 221, on base 283, slugging 332, and OPS at 615. He's just not a good hitter. So there's not a whole lot to talk about here for what the Indians got. Again, backup catcher. Bautista is a 21-year-old reliever, hasn't made it above rookie ball, spent 2019 in the Arizona League along with the Dominican Summer League. Doesn't look like he's on his way up anytime soon, but again, you're giving up Sandy Leone. What did you really expect to get back? Also, some Red Sox news, they tendered Jackie Bradley Jr., so he will be a part of the team next year, maybe, although it looks like they're more doing it to try and trade it. Some other small news around the league, I think Andrew Knapp re-signed with the Philadelphia Phillies, so that's going to be their backup catcher, maybe even third string, because now with the 26-man roster, teams might carry 3 catchers. I mentioned Peraza being non-tendered. Charlie Culberson was non-tendered. We're still waiting to hear all the guys that are going to be cut from the teams or non-tendered this offseason. We'll know more about that tomorrow. As I'm doing this video, Aaron Sanchez also just got non-tendered by the Astros, but that makes sense because he wasn't going to pitch in 2020 anyway because of his shoulder. James McCann signs a 1-year deal worth $5.4 million with the White Sox, so he doesn't have to go to arbitration. And I guess the latest big rumor that we've been hearing is about a possible Josh Hader trade. Do I think the Brewers trade him? Absolutely not, especially now striking out on getting Moustakas and Yasmani Grandal this season. I can't imagine a world where they would trade arguably their best pitcher. Actually, it's not arguable. He is their best pitcher on their staff, even if he is a reliever. A lot of teams are definitely going to touch base, see what they can get, or see what they can give up for Josh Hader, because he is that good. He's one of the top relievers in the game. I just can't see the Brewers actually doing this. It's almost crazier than the Mets trading Noah Syndergaard. So that's all the news that we got for you today. The Moustakas signing with the Reds, big fan of it. Profar trade, I like it from both sides. Why not, right? It really doesn't matter. Sandy Leone trade, that one, honestly, who cares? But the hot stove is finally hot. Like, in the last 2 or 3 years that I've been covering the hot stove on YouTube, this is the quickest it's ever gone off to a start, so I'm excited. I can't wait to see what happens the rest of the offseason. I'd love to know what you guys think about the Moustakas deal, the Profar trade, any of the moves down in the comment section below, so let me know what you're thinking. Remember to leave a like on the video, as well as subscribe to the channel if you're new and you do enjoy the content. Click that sub button, join the team. Remember to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at GiraffeNeckMarc, links in the description. Always talking baseball over there. And without further ado, that's going to wrap up today's video. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I do appreciate you. You know the drill. YouTube recommends you watch this video right here, as well as this is my most recent upload. So click through those if you have not yet seen them. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.